Hi, my name is Taylor with Happy Dance. I am a dog teacher and welcome to June's lecture. Food, doors, greeting, and movement. Why everyday situations break impulse control. Impulse control rarely fails in training setups. It fails in life. It fails at doorways when the outside world is waiting on the other side. It fails around food when anticipation spikes before the body can regulate. It fails during greetings when social arousal overwhelms restraint. It fails during movement when momentum itself becomes the trigger. These situations are not difficult because dogs do not understand the rules. They are difficult because they combine activation, anticipation, and proximity. Activation increases arousal. Anticipation keeps arousal elevated. Proximity removes time for regulation. Together, these factors create the perfect conditions for impulsive behavior. When impulse control is framed as obedience, these situations are approached with stricter rules. Dogs are asked to wait longer, hold still more firmly, or suppress movement entirely. But neurologically, these contexts are not asking for more control. They are asking for more regulation. Food activates powerful survival circuitry. Anticipation of food raises arousal before the dog even moves. If a dog is asked to hold still while arousal continues to rise, the nervous system is being pushed towards its limit. If the release comes too late, the dog does not learn patience. They learn tension. This is why many dogs appear frantic around food, even when they know the rules. Their nervous system has learned that food context involves prolonged arousal without resolution. The same pattern appears at doors. A closed door represents access to stimulation. The outside world is loud, unpredictable, and exciting. Standing still at a door does not reduce arousal. It often increases it. If the dog is required to wait beyond their regulatory capacity, the nervous system shifts from anticipation into frustration. Frustration increases impulse drive. When the door finally opens, the surge forward is not disobedience. It is release. Greetings follow the same neurological pattern. Social interaction is activating. The closer the dog gets to the person or the dog they want to greet, the higher arousal rises. Asking for prolonged restraint at peaked anticipation creates conflict. This is why dogs often appear worse when the closer they get to the greeting target. The nervous system is overwhelmed by simultaneously activation and inhibition. Movement adds another layer. Motion itself increases arousal. Forward momentum engages the motor system and primes the body for action. Stopping movement abruptly can feel destabilizing to the nervous system if it has not learned the downshift gradually. This is why impulse control often collapses during transitions. Starting walks, stopping walks, changing direction, or releasing from stillness. From the outside, these failures look inconsistent. From the inside, they are predictable. In each case, arousal rises faster than the nervous system can regulate. The problem is not that the dog refuses to wait. The problem is that the dog is being asked to tolerate more activation than their current capacity allows. When impulse control training ignores arousal, it creates chronic conflict around everyday activities. Dogs begin to associate food, doors, greeting, and movement with internal tension. These contexts become emotionally loaded. Over time, the nervous system anticipates conflict. Before it happens, arousal rises earlier and faster. Impulse control becomes harder, not easier. This is why many dogs seem to regress in impulse control as they mature. They are not regressing. They are accumulating unresolved arousal around repeated daily triggers. Impulse control that holds up in real life must be built in the same context where it is needed. But it must be built differently. Instead of asking for long waits at peak arousal, we teach the nervous system to pause earlier when arousal is lower. We create micro pauses before anticipation spikes. We release before frustration appears. This approach looks less impressive from the outside, but neurologically it is far more effective. A half-second pause before the food bowl moves in more valuable than a rigid sit, rather through shaking muscles. A brief hesitation at a door before excitement peaks is more valuable than a forced wait while arousal climbs. Impulse control built this way is quieter. It does not rely on restraint. It relies on timing. When timing respects the nervous system's limits, impulse control grows organically. When timing ignores those limits, conflict grows instead. In the final movement, we will examine how calm choices emerge from this process, why forced restraint undermines learning, and how impulse control becomes a byproduct of regulation rather than a battle of wills.